New York City has always been a place of ambition, where the skyline seemed to reach for the heavens. But in the early 1970s, that skyline changed forever. Out of the busy streets of Lower Manhattan rose two massive towers, each more than 100 stories tall, higher than anything the city had ever seen. These were the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, a daring idea brought to life, a remarkable feat of engineering and imagination. For New Yorkers, they became a source of pride, and for visitors, an unforgettable sight. Their silhouettes stood above everything else, impossible to miss by day and glowing brightly by night, symbols of determination and the bold, unstoppable spirit of New York. The Twin Towers weren't easy to build. The chosen site sat on soft riverbed soil beside the Hudson River, a problem that seemed impossible to solve. Engineers created the slurry wall, nicknamed the bathtub, a massive underground barrier that kept the river from flooding the foundation. With that in place, the towers began to rise. Their steel frame was both strong and light, a new design that allowed them to reach higher than any structure before. For years, thousands of workers welded beams, poured concrete, and guided cranes lifting enormous panels into position. By 1973, the vision had become reality. Two towers, each more than 100 stories tall, standing proudly as the tallest buildings in the world. The World Trade Center was more than two tall buildings. It was a city within a city. Every morning, tens of thousands of workers streamed through its massive lobbies, while more than 200,000 visitors came each day. High-speed elevators whisked people upward in seconds, connecting them to sky lobbies and higher floors. Inside, offices buzzed with typewriters, phones, and conversations that carried across the globe. Cafes and restaurants offered meals with sweeping views, while shops kept the complex lively. And at the very top, the observation deck gave visitors a sight few would ever forget. New York stretching endlessly in every direction, with the Statue of Liberty standing proudly in the harbor. The Twin Towers became more than architecture. They became global icons, instantly tied to the image of New York. They appeared in blockbuster movies like King Kong and Superman, where their incredible height symbolized the city's strength and ambition. Postcards and travel posters showed them shining proudly in the skyline, recognizable across the world. Artists painted them, musicians sang about them, and filmmakers used them to capture the energy of the Big Apple. For travelers, catching sight of the towers from a ferry, an airplane window, or even from miles away on the highway was unforgettable. To many, they stood as a welcome sign that said, "You've arrived in New York," bold, unmistakable, and larger than life. On September 11, 2001, America faced one of its darkest days. 4 planes were hijacked in a coordinated act of terror. 2 struck the Twin Towers in New York, ripping through the buildings and igniting massive fires. While the towers still stood, they burned with fire and smoke as thousands fought to escape and first responders rushed inside to help. Then, one after the other, the towers collapsed, sending shockwaves through the city and the world. Elsewhere, one plane struck the Pentagon, and another, United Flight 93, crashed in Pennsylvania after passengers fought back. Nearly 3,000 people were killed that day. In New York, the devastation was overwhelming. Smoke, ash, and debris poured through the streets as people fled for safety. Yet amid the horror, firefighters, police, and medics rushed toward the danger, guiding survivors, carrying the injured, and risking everything to save lives. The Twin Towers were lost, but the courage shown that day will never be forgotten. Where the Twin Towers once stood, 2 vast reflecting pools now mark their footprints. Water flows endlessly into their centers, a symbol of lives cut short, yet forever remembered. Around the edges, the names of every victim are engraved in bronze, each one telling a story of love, loss, and memory. Visitors gather here every day, some placing flowers, some bowing their heads in silence, others simply standing in reflection. The plaza, surrounded by rows of green trees, has become a place of peace in the heart of a city that once knew only chaos. Rising above it all is One World Trade Center, the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. Its glass walls mirror both the sky and the city below, standing as a beacon of resilience, unity, and hope. Here, the story of the Twin Towers continues, etched in memory and alive in the spirit of New York.